Oh, look at Miss Williams. Hey, Miss Williams. It's Monday.
Marvelous Monday.
Oh.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time seeing my face on your screen, welcome. My name is Marilyn, but I go by Mare, and this is my channel Heal with Mare, where we talk all things healing. And one thing that I'm known for lately, and just in general, is holding Black women accountable by first holding myself accountable. Since when is it okay to comment on a person's body as the first complimentary thing? When did that become normal? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like as an adult, can we call it sexual harassment at this point? But even for me, like, I know my body is banging. I know I have curves that are natural. I know that I have a smaller midsection, a bigger backside, and I'm curvy up top. Like, I know where my curves are, and I'm not like blind to that. I know this. I've known this since I was young, and the older I've gotten, the curvier I've actually gotten. And I know that when I would post certain pictures of myself, it'd be a picture that had nothing to do with my body, but I would make it about my body based on the way I was posing in that picture, whether I was turned to the side, looking over the shoulder with my, like the butt pics. I would make it about my body because I like the affirmations. I loved knowing that I had the body that was in style at the time, which is an hourglass figure, a Coca-Cola bottle figure. I appreciated that, and I can't even deny it. Even to this day, there are some videos and pictures where I'm looking at myself now and I'm like, Marilyn, you probably didn't have to post that. But the thing about the Jezebel spirit is it's pretty pervasive. Last year, I made this whole video about baddie culture and how wanting to be a baddie turned me into a monster. And to this day, we'll never know whether I ever achieved being a baddie. But one thing we do know is the negative impacts it had on me and my self-esteem, and how I felt like I was playing a character and not really being myself at all. This is now me being myself. Like, I'm still like taking all the different layers off in order to return back to myself, but this is the most authentic version of me since I was a child. What I want to do is get back to that childlike version of myself. That's like definitely the goal. One thing I really wanted to talk to y'all about and have a heart-to-heart about is the Jezebel spirit. Leaving a definition here for your reference, but I can honestly admit and be real and say that I had the Jezebel spirit. I created a YouTube video last year about how baddie culture turned me into a monster, but I allowed it to turn me into a monster. The desire for like attention and validation took a hold of me, and I was not ashamed of hiding it because it was so normalized. All I saw on my Instagram feed were other women like me trying to get attention, other Black women trying to get attention, other people that I went to either middle school or high school or college with trying to get attention. And the way to get attention oftentimes was to fit this particular aesthetic. And the aesthetic would always include wigs, which is one of the reasons why I had to separate myself from wig wearing culture. And I know some of y'all be getting offended thinking that I connect wig wearing with morality. That's not the case. I definitely believe that wig wearing can be a gateway into other things, especially the heart posture of your wig wearing. For me, my heart posture when I was wearing wigs that were not my texture was insecurity, fear of like, oh my god, will I be accepted with my natural hair? Insecurity, fear, like a lack mindset of like, I'm not enough, like my hair is not enough. Those things don't come from God. God does not give us that spirit, which is why if it doesn't come from God, who does it come from? Like, can we be real? And I know that people get really upset when I talk about like the Jezebel spirit being demonic or insecurity being demonic. And just because it's demonic doesn't mean it's not part of the human condition. But we can call a spade a spade. Every single day of your life, you should be aspiring to be the best version of yourself. That's what I believe. And that's what I hold true. For me, like, I want to be the best version of myself. And the best version of me was not a baddie. Like, that's not who I am, and that's not genuinely who I was. But I noticed the amount of attention you can get when you have a certain look. And I don't want those eyeballs on me. I don't want that on me. But this video is about a particular teacher bae
Oh, look at Miss Williams. Hey, Miss Williams. It's Monday.
It's Monday.
Oh. Y'all, look at Miss Williams. Good morning, Miss Williams.
Good morning.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Today's price is not yesterday's price.
Miss Williams here is going viral over her choices of outfit that she wears to school. I don't know about you guys, but I almost hate to admit that I don't think I would get any learning done with, we have strict dress codes at school for the girls. And when it comes to tights, you have to have shirts over your bottom that cover it completely. 100% inappropriate, baby. You're propped up against the bus. That ain't, no. As shown here, though, you can see that she can dress classy. This one was crazy to me, and yes, it's her day off, but it says Miss Williams, hashtag Miss Williams, on a day off. Teachers of TikTok. I don't know, but I thought that teachers' TikToks and, social medias had to be really, kind of bland. Or this one, the only C's my students will see, and she has a Chanel purse. Do you know how many of your students can afford a Chanel purse? Or their parents, do you know how many of them can afford a Chanel purse? Touch grass, baby. And this really took the cake for me. The name of the student was on this paper, and she's got it on her TikTok. I don't know, maybe I just blew it out of proportion, but...
To the teachers that feel like they can wear whatever they want to wear to work. Yes, I'm talking about Teacher Bay. I'm going to call her Miss Williams because you a teacher. I'm going to call you Miss Williams. And all the other teachers that feel like they can wear that type of stuff to work. I did see a lot of women talking about this, but I feel like there hasn't been a lot of men talking about this. So hopefully y'all get a different perspective from a man and how little boys will think. I'm going to just say this now. Y'all are straight up weird. Y'all get on this app talking about how a lot of men are PDF people. A lot of women are PDF people too. You know that them boys are staring at your backside. You know this. You know that them boys are fantasizing about you. That's weird because you keep putting on these outfits that allow them to have these type of fantasies. And you do it on purpose. You know that these stuff is happening. And I would probably excuse you if you were an elementary school teacher, maybe elementary school, but you definitely look like a middle school or high school teacher. Those boys are fantasizing about you. Then you might say, well, I can't control how my body looks. And you're right. But that teacher got a BBL. And first off, getting a BBL as a teacher is crazy. But you might not be able to control the way your body looks, but you can definitely control the clothes that you put on. And you're doing this on purpose. I know you're doing this on purpose. I think you get aroused knowing these little boys are fantasizing about you. And it's not even the boys, it's the girls too. You are imprinting on these little girls as well. I seen a post about this lady. She was saying that some teachers still feel like they're in high school and they're in competition with some of the girls. This is one of those cases. Don't you feel weird that little boys are fantasizing about you? That would make me feel, bro, I don't know. That's crazy. You know these boys are fantasizing about you. Yet you still come to work with these tight clothes on. You still come to work showing off your BBL. And I don't know. We put women on a different pedestal when it comes to PDF, but man, we down here, women, y'all up here, y'all could get away with so much stuff, but y'all are, man, hey. The last thing I want to say is that this problem does not happen on the collegiate level. I've seen this discourse happen on elementary, middle school, high school, but never college. Never college professors, they aren't wearing those type of clothings. And why? The students are older. Why don't you wear this type of clothing? Because they know it's unprofessional. How do they know this? But y'all don't know this. Y'all are weird. Let me know what y'all think, man. Y'all stay positive. Peace.
Y'all may not love what I'm about to say, but I don't think Teacher Bay's work outfits are inappropriate or unprofessional at all. Whatsoever. I also think it's important for us to acknowledge that she works at a school with administrators, a dress code, and a teacher code of conduct. If she was violating any of those things, an administrator would have already addressed it. Now, we can talk about online and social media presence, and I'll get back to that in a second, but as a former administrator, my first question would be, what do her scores look like? When I'm going into her classroom to do observations, are kids on task? Are they learning? What is her pass-fail rate? Especially in a world where there is a serious teacher shortage. Because teachers don't want to teach anymore because it's hard. It's really hard, and kids are below levels in every subject. Now, if the kids are engaged and learning in her classroom, I say great. Great, keep doing what you're doing. Now, when it comes to social media, the school could tell her to be mindful of what she posts on social media, but I personally haven't seen her post anything inappropriate. Now, mind you, I didn't scrub through her social media, but from what I've seen, I feel like it's a normal person living a normal life. And I know that some of y'all may forget this because you may not have worked as an educator, but the people who are in education have a life outside of being your child's teacher. They are allowed to live their life as they please when they are not being your child's teacher. I've seen people questioning whether or not she has a BBL and why she would need one. Now, first of all, I don't know if she got a BBL or not. I'm not the BBL police. But also, I just want to tell y'all that nowhere in any teacher code of conduct does it say that teachers are not allowed to have BBLs. And if it did, somebody would be facing a significant lawsuit because you can't do that. But I've seen people go as far as calling this lady a predator. And I've not seen anything predatory on her behalf. If there's no issues with her having poor boundaries with kids, if there's no evidence that she's being inappropriate with kids, I think that y'all are taking this a little too far. And I'm not even going to get into the fact that I truly believe that y'all want to police what she's wearing because she's a black woman and y'all often tell black women about their bodies and how they should be dressing. But that's another story for another day.
And I don't even want to talk about her per se. I more so want to talk about what the spirit is behind attitudes and behaviors similar to her. If I knew her in person, I think it'd be easier for me to give her feedback, but I don't want to go ahead and dump on her when she's already being completely dumped on and no one is pulling her aside. Well, I don't know because I'm not there, but it feels like a lot of these think pieces are not considering like, hey, why not go to her directly in a loving way? We don't do that enough as human beings, and that's why on my channel, like, I will talk about more so ideas, more so ideologies, more so behaviors that we gotta work through, not individuals. I'll never attack an individual. I'll never come for anyone. Heck, even in my comment sections, I will never call you out of your name. I don't. I might tell you that there's a demon in you. That comes from love. But yeah, like this woman on TikTok, Teacher Bay, and there are others like her who probably don't have a face to them. Like she's the one who's been really bold to showcase like who she is, like in the classroom, in the school, outside of the classroom. And it's just so disappointing to me that culturally black women are going down this path. And when I see black women oftentimes who are exhibiting like over sexual, over masculine, like baddie type behaviors, it's typically a woman who has a wig on her head that is not her hair texture. Sue me for saying it, I do not care. I'm gonna be really honest. There is a direct link between you not loving yourself and you exhibiting behaviors that are less than admirable. Behaviors that are honestly like, we gotta do better. we got to do better. So I'm curious about like what y'all think between that link. And I think that when I link those things together, like the wig, the non-textured wig wearing, like the straight Brazilian, but like Malaysian bundle bust downs, like when I link that to debauchery, degeneracy, and lack of self-esteem, y'all be thinking I'm coming for you. And I always say this, like, if you're feeling convicted by these videos, take it to Jesus, because I didn't say your name. I didn't say anything directly to anyone. I'm attacking a general cultural issue. If you're part of that cultural issue, that might mean that you have work to do. Again, take it to Jesus. That's between you and God. The thing about the Jezebel spirit is that there are times even now, as someone who has defeated the spirit of Jezebel with the help of Jesus Christ, that Jezebel still tries to creep in and creep up out of me. I will look at my pictures and like my YouTube shorts, and I'll see like one particular picture where I made sure y'all were seeing my body shape, you know? And even though I wasn't showing crazy cleavage and I'm not as like I'm not exposing myself the way I used to expose myself, there is still a desire there that literally manifests in me posting or including different clips and videos of me where you can see my body shape. That is not humility. That is something that God is still working on me with. And I think I tell y'all all the time how I'm still working on my modesty journey. Like, I'm still constantly working on my modesty journey, because here's the thing. I never feel enough with just my face. I don't feel enough. I feel like I need my body to be included, because with my body being included, I'm the whole package. With my face, it's not enough. And when I was in middle school, this boy who had a crush on me, literally, and I still think about it to this day. He started off as my friend, started crushing on me. I was not interested from middle school until like literally until college. I was not interested in boys. All I cared about was my dad. That was it. Making my dad proud. Boy craziness, that couldn't find me. Being boy crazy was not something I went through. I was not at that. Of course, I had crushes on boys. I had crushes, but nothing ever serious, you know, because I was so focused on making my dad proud. But this boy literally told me I had a butter face. Don't know if y'all have heard of that before, but butter face means everything is beautiful about this woman except her face. It basically means that all I have going for me is my body, and my face is not a feature that I have going for me. Mind you, this was a boy that had a crush on me, insulting me, but that stayed with me. That stayed with me, and because of that, I feel like I need to overcompensate for the lack of prettiness in my face. So the way I do that is by showing my body. And I feel for Black women, I feel for a lot of us, because a lot of the times the trauma shows up in the Jezebel spirit, because the devil is able to get a foothold in our weaknesses, in the darkness, because we don't shed light into it. And I'm so glad that I was able just now to share a childhood moment with y'all, and I can feel Jesus transforming me in this moment, because that's a childhood memory I shoved down. I don't try to bring that up because I don't want anybody using that against me. But if you're truly healed, if you truly desire healing, you have to let the things in the dark come out into the light, or the devil will overpower you with the shame, with the guilt, with the embarrassment, with the resentment. You have to let that stuff go. But for me, I never really felt like my face was enough. I'm like, oh, my face is plain, which is why I used to wear the contact lenses, which is why I used to wear the wigs that weren't my hair texture, because this never felt like enough to me until Jesus revealed to me how I am fearfully and wonderfully made, according to Psalms 139 verses 13 to 14, that I'm made in God's image. Like, literally, that is what rescued me from the over dependence on wigs, the over reliance on my body carrying me, you know. And like, I still struggle, and I'm honest about that with you, and that's why I can't even fully judge Teacher Bay. I can say though that we need to stop this culture of commenting and making it so big, like body's tea. Like, the first thing that you're noticing about somebody is their body, and you're lusting over it. It's so problematic, because it's almost like that, like the chicken before the egg type of thing, right? We all know that sex sells, but I would like say in the beginning of like Instagram, people weren't putting their bodies on there like that. Not that I saw. Like, not the day-to-day people I knew and followed. That became a thing when the baddie aesthetic took over. When it became this commodity to show your body, and then it became normalized to comment on other people's bodies, which that is so weird to me now. Like, can y'all give me a compliment without bringing my body into it? That is so strange. But one thing that I noticed about myself was, like, I started desiring to see more of those comments. I desired to see more of those compliments. Like, so I gave y'all more of what I thought you were looking for. More butt shots, more me posing, arching my back in like an unnatural way, more revealing my cleavage, literally wearing very skinny bikinis, very like leaving nothing to the imagination at some points, because that's what I thought people wanted. And I love the attention. And yeah, I love the attention. I love the validation. I can't even lie to you. I love the attention. I love the validation. It felt so great. But what was that doing to make my life better? Not a single thing. Not a single thing. That doesn't make anybody's. How's that helping anyone's life? That's leading you down a path of destruction, leading you down a place of lustfulness. Whether you're a man or a woman, if you're seeing me on your timeline or your feed, and my boobs are out and my butt is out, that is not making your life any better. That's causing you to slip and fall and sin. And woe unto me for being that type of person. But it takes a lot of humility to get out of there. And it's easy to fall back into it. Because one thing I know, regardless of what I'm wearing, my body shape shows. And the minute I see a compliment on my body, I'm like, ooh, I like that. That felt good. Let me give them a little bit more. And I have to do better about that. But I can't do it on my own strength. I need Jesus. Like, I need God to help me. I think a lot more Black women need to lean on God, because what y'all are doing isn't working, clearly. The brokenness, it's at an all-time high. And it's really disappointing. It's just sad. Like, I think that we need to represent ourselves better. It's just wild to me how even women like who we used to revere and look up to, like Felicia Rashad, can't get to Black women. She'll give you the real, like she'll say, cover up, put some clothes on, and Black women will literally attack her. This woman is a staple in the Black culture. She is an icon. And so many Black women and girls thought it was okay to attack her because that lust, that desire for validation literally thwarts rationale. It thwarts logic. Your desire to get double taps on a simple video picture of you showing your body outweighs the logic and the love that comes from a person like Felicia Rashad or any woman who is trying to uplift you and remind you that your worth is not in your body. Your worth is not in your external look. Your worth actually comes from within and is intrinsic. But we can't feel the intrinsic value. We don't see it. There's no double tapping in that. There's no complimenting in that. There's no nothing, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think this is something, it's the realm of the spirit, and we gotta pray for Black women like Teacher Bay. We got to come together and pray for Black women who are so lost that they think that the only thing that they have going from themselves is their body and their bust down wigs and external things, because the external things are getting so costume like, so exaggerated, so dramatic, because it's literally showing you this warped, like it's showing you the spiritual realm being manifested outward. Because we don't struggle against flesh and blood. Ephesians 6:12 tells us we do not struggle against flesh and blood. But those dark rulers, those principalities, those things that are unseen in the spiritual realm can still manifest outwardly, and we can see it with our naked eye, right? We won't see it as clear, but we can see when you see a Black woman with a wig that's not her texture, lashes that are literally covering her eyelids, excessive makeup, over-exaggerated body parts, over-exaggerated like actions, and like just trying so hard to be seen, to find value in herself. That is a spiritual demonic stronghold. That is her battling in the spirit and losing, not knowing that we don't fight with like worldly weapons. You can't fight with external weapons. The weapons cannot be seen. However, the sword, the shield, the breastplate of righteousness, the helmet of salvation, there's so many different things that we can put on as Christians. And y'all know I be talking to my Christians and my Christ followers out here. There are things that we can do to fight against the enemy and the devil's schemes. And part of his schemes is to take away Black women's actual natural beauty. Because our beauty isn't found in the external things. It's just not. Anyway, y'all, that's all I had to say. I hope I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I love you so much. We got to end this video. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.